Hey everyone, so probably a bit of a shorter video today, but I wanted to show you guys something cool that somebody found in Art of Rally a couple weeks back. It was found by Reddit user No One Cares Ite on the Art of Rally subreddit. So let's go ahead and boot up the Kanto Mountains region of Japan, and we're gonna pick an old school JDM car. We're gonna go with the 8.6, or the original as it's known in game, and you'll see why I made that pick in a second. Alright, so there's gonna be a specific part of the map I'll have to drive to. There's no like fast travel or anything in this game, so I will actually have to travel there, but maybe it's right by start, I'm not sure. And I'm not gonna say at first what the track is, because I want to see if somebody's able to guess it. If you were able to guess it before I said it, please let me know in the comments, because I'm super curious. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, it's actually right by... Oh, I think I see it. Yep. All right, let me pull up a little bit here. Yes, okay. So I doubt anybody can see it from there, but let's go ahead and head down that direction. If there's a break in the guardrail here, I think I'm just going to cheat and go down. Yeah. Alright, I'm sorry, this is not going to be graceful driving. I'm sorry for my poor little 8.6 here. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I probably could have done it all on four wheels still. Well, here, you get to see the cool little tofu call out on the underside of the car. Oof! And a hit in the rock. I seriously could have just taken one of the millions of downhill amazing touge roads to get here, but hey, I want to go show off the track as soon as possible. So here we are, and... Okay, let me just orient myself. Okay, so this isn't actually the track here. It's this first corner right here. Okay, so I think I know where I am. So let's go ahead. Yeah, this is right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do one little lap around, and then I'll give you all a chance to guess what the course is. And then I'll say it. I kind of just went on the most famous part here. This part, there's a couple different ways to do it. So this track, it has a couple different layouts. This is pretty accurate right here, going up the hill. Yeah, this feels as it should. There's one part that I kind of fear is missing a little bit, and it's kind of bumming me out. So this part is super iconic as well. This is done pretty right. So this section right here, this isn't quite right. Probably the most famous, or I guess what makes the track famous, is that little section right there, which you wouldn't know from the Art of Rally version because it's missing. It's not in this version of the track, or this kind of Easter egg of the track, which totally bums me out and almost makes me wonder if this is somehow not intentional, because I don't know how you could miss that. Okay, so we've done one lap. The name of this track is Ebisu. This is Ebisu, and it's pretty dang close. Specifically, it's Ebisu Minami, or just Ebisu South. There's like Ebisu Touge and a couple other ones as well, but this is Ebisu Minami, the super famous jump drift course, I guess you could call it for people that aren't familiar with Ebisu very much. But this is where huge names like Daigo Saito have done the big jump drift. It's a super fast entry, and you kind of cut a couple of corners, and then do this really big wall ride jump drift into kind of a decreasing angle corner. It's very cool. Go watch some videos on it if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But interestingly enough, and I mentioned this a second ago, the jump drift section, or at least kind of the elevation, is the only part of this that's like noticeably different. And that's what's really throwing me for a loop here, because, you know, if you're the developer, Dune or Fun Selector, and you're making this map and you're clearly making an Easter egg of Ebisu, you'd think you'd want to get it, or at least you'd want to get the most famous part accurate. But that's the one part that's kind of messed up. And, you know, it's not like he couldn't have moved that house, that little red house on the top left. That's kind of where it is. So let's go ahead, actually, I've got it kind of well framed here. I want to pull up the Google Maps so you can see how close this is to the real thing. So let me just take a screenshot here and do a little post-editing magic, and we'll compare the two with some little overlays here. Alright, so now we're in Photoshop here. This is the layout. It runs just kind of clockwise around here. And this right here is the most important part. That is the jump drift. And funny enough, well, I guess we'll talk about that in a second. That building kind of should be up in the top left, but let's go ahead and overlay. This is the real Ebisu, and you can see it's really, really close. You know, that's the jump drift right there. Then you do the big wall ride, long drift into this kind of tight, almost a hairpin, and then extend it, go up into third maybe, And then this part, you just kind of go fast and then up the hill to the little double hairpins. And then if you're going to do the big, exciting jump to the wall ride, you have to cut this section. You have to kind of hit all 3 of these rumble strips, especially that last one. And then sometimes the course does get run differently. This section can kind of get run a few different ways, but this is pretty standard layout. And as you can see, it is almost to the T, the layout from Art of Rally. I mean, with the kind of double vision here, you can see how damn close this is. If you're coming up, I mean, this is all uphill in real life. The little hairpins go downhill again. I mean, that little guardrail right there is, that's exactly where it should be. And then it's just this section. So this kind of goes back up again, and that's missing. I just don't understand why that's missing. That is the most iconic bit. You run down the wall run, it's a huge drift, and then you do that hairpin. And, it's funny because I guess I brought this up for a second earlier. This building and that crowd in Art of Rally, so the crowd right there isn't Art of Rally, just a bunch of little dots, should be up here. So it's one of those things where, this game was made essentially by one guy. I'm pretty sure the one guy did all of the map design. So he had complete control to place objects wherever he wanted. So he could have moved that temple up to the top left where the pits and the stands are. He could have done that little elevation so there's a jump. I mean, there's tons of little jumping sections in Art of Rally. So I just don't get why it's not there. I mean, you can see here, right here, there should be a jump. And there just isn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of focusing too much on that. But it's just weird to me. That is what makes the course so iconic. And I've got to think, there's no way this is accidental. But then why would you leave that section out? So here's my, public petition to get Dune, the maker of this game, to add a little jump there. I know he can do it. I know it's possible. It has to be. Please add a little bit of a jump in that section so we can have the full, real Ebisu South in Art of Rally. Because even though Art of Rally, it obviously isn't a drifting game, it kind of is a drifting game. I mean, it's a rally game, but you have very, very clear drifting influence, and that's obvious. I mean, that's no secret. The previous game was called Absolute Drift, and this one was originally Absolute Rally, but now it's Art of Rally, which I think is actually a much more fitting title for the game. I mean, this whole game is art. I'm going to stop at the little top of this hairpin here and get a quick screenshot for my wallpaper folder, because this game is serious wallpaper material. Look at that. I mean, how can you not have art in the title of this game? This is just gorgeous. So anyway, I am now fiending to drift Ebisu, so I'm going to end this video by jumping into Assetto Corsa really quick and doing some real drifting around Ebisu Minami. So I'll see you over there for a sec, and you can get more of a first-person view of what it's like to actually drift around Ebisu Minami. I tried my best in this video to drift the whole course. I had a couple good sections in there. There were some pretty decent drifts, but let's go ahead and jump into the quote-unquote real thing. Okay, so this will not be a good lap by any means, but gives you a pretty good idea of a first-person perspective of what Ebisu is actually like. So here's that kind of back corner uphill, and then you've got the double hairpins back down the hill here. Did these pretty okay. I mean, these are probably the easiest section of the whole course. And then here's where you just gain speed and cut for that big, exciting wall ride jump drift. I did terribly here. I was way too far on the inside, but honestly, it's such a hard track. And I'm just out of practice. I never drive this course just because it's not a great tandem course, and I've been doing more road racing lately, a little bit less drifting. But either way, that gives you the general concept of what the real Ebisu is actually like. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.